Good morning, everybody. It's me, Heather Nichols, for the Thursday Tailored Expressions Live. I am joining you from a brand new location. If you've been following along with me, you know that we just sold our house and we're living with my mom. And so I'm coming to you from her front porch right now. I'm still setting up my area. So go ahead and say hello when you join in and let me know where you're watching from. I have a little bit of a different setup today, just to give you all a heads up. And we are working through a few technical issues. So just hang in there with us if things aren't going as normal as they usually are during the live. So I hope you guys are all well. It is really hot here in Minnesota, which I know it is really hot kind of all throughout the country, which that's a great time to come inside and do a little crafting as well. So I'm going to actually pick up my iPad here to see you so that I can see the chat. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tracy and Stephanie and Rachel and Debbie. It's so good to see you guys this morning, and everybody else that is popping in from all over the place. So again, welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you. It's an exciting week here at Tailored Expressions with our new color drop that's happening. So we're going to do some more things with that today and do a little crafting with some of the new colors with Toffee Cardstock, of course. So yes, that is the exciting thing that's happening this week. I actually am just going to bring my chat right up here, you guys. It is so good to see you. Good morning, Sue and Mindy and Sarah and Deneen. It's good to see you. Hi, everybody. Yes. So again, like I said, if you didn't catch on, I'm in a new location. I'm actually about a half an hour from where my old house was. Our house is now somebody else's, and we are living with my mom while we build our new house. So I'll be here and in a few locations. So thanks for bearing with us with this change that's happening. So again, the new color drop is this week at Tailored Expressions. We introduced 4 new colors this week: Persimmon, Papaya, Tiki Mule, and Royal Icing. I think they're such a great addition to the TE Rainbow. I'm super excited about Persimmon and Papaya in particular. I love all of them, but those were my favorites, which is the 2 colors we're going to be working on today. If you didn't already, you can catch Taylor's live. You can watch the replay, and she goes through all of the new colors and the different things that are available with that. And she did a card using our new petal palette stencil set, which is just so ingenious. And I have not gotten to play with it, and I'm super excited to play with it. So she shared, you guys got to vote on what color scheme card you wanted to see her create, and she created with the cool colors, which is beautiful. If you have not stopped by our YouTube channel, you will also see a video from Joy Baldwin. And also today, there's one from Thierry. Today's card from Thierry focuses on the Royal Icing and Tiki Mule colors, which is kind of fun because I'm focusing on Persimmon and Papaya with the project that I'm sharing today. So make sure you check it all out. I do know there was an exclusive for the 100 that was available when the release went live. That is done. You all had so much fun ordering the new colors for your collection. So it flipped back to the July, I almost said January, the July gift with purchase. So that is what you'll get now with $100 and more. Don't worry though, that's little swatchlet set. I think you're going to be seeing it in the future because we all need it, right? So if you missed out, I have on good authority to say it will be available for you in the future. I don't know when, but it will be available. So it is next week, the last week in July, and that means it's time for our newest card making kit. And you guys know that when we do the July kit, it is Christmas, and I have designed the kit for the last several years with a Christmas theme. I don't know if you guys remember, the first one was the candy canes. I'm trying to think if it was Candy Cane Lane or Peppermint Kisses. Some of those, I forget the names because we call some of the sets different things. Then we had the Wreathed in Joy, I believe is what we called it. And then last year was the sweaters. Do you guys remember those fun little sweaters? And this year, you're going to be super excited to see the theme. I know. I have sneak peeks for you today. So are you guys ready to see those? I'm going to pop those up. And I will actually be joining you. Sorry, I bumped my tripod. My setup is a little bit different here. So here is a sneak peek at what you're going to see in the kit next week. So you can get a good look at our theme that we have going for next week. I have one more card to share with you as well. So we are so excited to share more about the kit and what's available. There are so many fun options to create with this kit, and I think you're going to have fun with lights. I think you're going to have fun with glitter and paste. I think you're going to have fun with glitter drops, all of that stuff. So I think there's going to be so many fun possibilities. Wait till you see what the design team has created. It is so much fun. So make sure to join us. If you are on the Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook page, you will see sneak peeks this Saturday. And then also Taylor will be live next Tuesday. Not Taylor. I take that back. Taylor gets to go on vacation next week. So Susan Block will be there on Tuesday to do the live and reveal all of the fun things and do a project with you with the new kit. And like I said, next Thursday, I will join you and we'll craft even more with the kit. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Yeah, I'm super excited. It was a super fun kit to design, and I hope you have so much fun creating with it. So should we get crafting today with the new colors? I've had so much fun with the new colors, and I can't wait to share what we're going to create today. I unfortunately have to do the little flip down camera thing this time. Remember how I used to have to do that before I got the new technology? We aren't quite set up to flip cameras smoothly quite yet. So you're going to have to bear with me here as I flip the camera down. But I'm going to show you where I am because my mom lives on a lake. So you're going to get a peek. I'm going to flip you instead of to the ceiling. You're going to look at my lake that my mom lives on before we get down to the crafting area. So here's your flip. Here is the beautiful view from where I am right now on the porch. And sorry about the jiggling and the moving. And I'm going to bring you down to the craft area and tighten you up. Thank you guys so much for your patience with all of the things that we have going on technology wise. So that's right. It's almost Whitney's birthday. She gets to go on vacation for her birthday. So we are going to create with the new colors today, the papaya and the persimmon. And this is what we are going to create today with the Poppy Fields stencil. This set was originally one that you could earn with a $100 purchase. I don't remember if it was a year ago or maybe it was even longer than that ago. And now you can, it's in our regular tea collection. So you can purchase it if you don't have it. So we're going to be blending on Toffee Cardstock, which of course gives your colors a totally different, more muted look, which I love a rustic and muted look. But I wanted to show you, we're going to blend directly on the Toffee Cardstock for our card today. But remember how I've talked about if you want your colors to pop and show a little bit more true on Toffee Cardstock, that you put a layer of white or sugar cube ink underneath. So that's what I did here on this panel. So you can see the difference in the colors when you blend on the Toffee Cardstock versus blending on Toffee Cardstock with the white pigment ink underneath your color. I also discovered something else interesting is there's a difference if you let that ink dry or if you put the color directly on top of the white pigment ink that's still a little wet, and that is here. So this one, I had applied the papaya and the persimmon to white ink that was not completely dry. So it gave it a little bit more of a pastel tone to it. And this one, I let the ink completely dry before I layered the colors on top. So that gives you a good idea of kind of the difference of, does it matter if I let that white ink dry under there or not? So just some different options for using these colors on Toffee. I did want to show you one other fun thing that I played with, because we're going to go on top of Toffee, but you can play around with layering on top of other colors of cardstock as well. And I'm going to pull out, I actually did the stencil on a piece of royal icing cardstock, and look at how gorgeous that looks. Whitney said it looks like you're looking into the sky when you're looking at the colors, and I think she's totally right. So this one is a little bit more pastel. I put the colors on while that white ink was still not dry, and so it gave it a little bit lighter tone. I would actually want to play around with letting that completely dry and seeing the results that I get. So that's some different fun options for you to do today. Like I said, right today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to blend right on top of Toffee. I'm going to slide you guys down. Hold on a second here while I move my things down so we're a little bit closer to the mat. while we create. Okay, I did do one of the true color cards too. So if you want a peek at the color combination I'm using, it is Papaya, Persimmon, Green Tea, and Mocha. And on this particular color card, I blended the ink colors on Toffee and then cut them out to put them on my card to remind myself of what I did for this project. So that is the colors we're using today. So I'm going to start out with a 6x6 piece of Toffee cardstock, and I'm going to grab my layered stencil set. This layered stencil set has 4 layers. We're going to start with layer number 1, and I am going to use pixie spray to hold that in place. Spray a thin layer on the back of that, and then let's line this up right on top. And I'm trying to remember if I did papaya or persimmon with this first layer. I think I did papaya. And of course I could try it the other way. So I'm just looking at some of the different flowers here. So I did papaya first, but you could revert. I mean, you could do either way, either order on that one. So let me grab my ink colors. Again, sorry for my reaching across here. I'm set up in a totally different workspace than what I am used to. And let's go ahead and grab the papaya ink, and we're going to blend directly onto that Toffee cardstock. So when there's not white ink or white pigment ink that I'm not putting down that layer for on this, the ink is going to basically go directly into your cardstock. I am so sorry about the wiggling. Bear with me. I have a different desk setup happening soon. This is what we had to do for today. So I'm just blending with that papaya onto the Toffee cardstock. Dye inks in general, they don't sit on top of your cardstock. They go into your cardstock. Obviously, they're not bleeding all the way through to the other side, but that is the difference. A pigment ink will sit more on top of your cardstock. It's more usually a paint type consistency. And that's how we can layer the inks on together to get some more of that true color from the inks on a different color of cardstock, because you're layering basically a layer of white. And then that is what you are putting that on top of. I'm not doing it on this one though. This one, they're just going directly onto that Toffee cardstock and blending right into that cardstock. So depends on the look you're going for. And same with stamps too. If you have a solid stamp that you're trying to do on Toffee cardstock, and you can definitely stamp directly on the cardstock, but if you want to pop that color a little bit, you can stamp white first. Use that Misty tool to line everything up perfectly. Clean up your stamp and stamp it over the top with that solid color. Okay, so layer number 1, there we go. And let's move on to layer number 2, which is the other part of those petals. Looks like you guys liked that sample on the royal icing. I was really excited about that. I want to play with that more. I thought that looked so pretty. Okay, so our second layer is going to be the persimmon. These two colors are beautiful together. When you're looking for a light and a dark to go together for blending or anything like that, these two. And same with the royal icing and the tiki mule. They're a beautiful pair. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab my blender brush for the persimmon. I am a big fan of guava. And guava definitely has more of a pink tone to it, especially when I'm doing florals. I'll use guava and pair it with cherry pop a lot for my color kind of matches. And I like this too, because this is going to give me a little bit more of that peach lean. Guava has a little touch more pink in it than these. So I'm excited to play with these colors together a little bit more. And are you all excited about, we have lots of new color drops coming for you in the coming months to expand our rainbow even further. I am very excited. I get to share the next color with you in maybe a few weeks, we'll just say. And it's a color I can see myself using a lot. So if you know some of my color preferences, maybe you can take a guess as to maybe what color I'm thinking, what color it might be, I guess would be what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there's the persimmon. I'm not doing any special blending with this one. We're just doing the plain color through the stencil for each layer. It's up to you if you want to get fancy and do some extra blending to add more depth to your project. He's like, more tea, a little bit of tea. I mean, you guys knew more colors were coming, right? Okay, layer number 3. Is the greenery, the stems, and kind of the bud. I have one little part of this stencil that I'm going to spray a little extra adhesive onto. When you have some of these wiggly parts on the stencil to fit on, I'm always making sure I've got an extra little shot of spray on there to hold those pieces in place while I stencil. Just give it an extra little push down. This one is going to be green tea. This is definitely been a color that is growing in favorites for me. Okay, so let's blend with green tea here. We'll fill in those stems. Now, my favorite pairing with green tea, if you're looking for that other color to pair with green tea, is definitely Brussels sprout. That one is the one that I tend to reach for when I'm grabbing for the color. Somebody is asking about the palette playbooks that are coming out. I have yet to get my hands on one of these. I've seen obviously the what they look like and everything. I believe the new colors will all have a palette playbook. And I think depending on a lot of number of things is that maybe that will be expanded to some of our current colors. So I think we're focusing on the new colors to share the color combinations, because when you have a new color coming in, sometimes it's like, okay, now what does this go with? And so we're giving you kind of that jump start of how to start pulling colors for your next project when you are starting to create with these new colors. Linda's asking, when blending over white, do you apply white on each stencil before you do the color? It depends on the look you're going for. I will say, let me grab my one here. On this one here, I put white only under the petals of the flowers. I did not do the stems on here because I don't feel like Toffee changes the green tea a lot, where these two, it does definitely change them a lot. It definitely takes on the kind of more, and of course this is darker because we're just inking it, but it takes on more of the kind of, there's some different yellow tones in Toffee cardstock that change what your color looks like. If you wanted the green tea with white underneath, you could do it. I chose not to. So it's kind of your choice if you want to try and see what it looks like. Now, I would say if you've got a layer of Mocha, that's not going to change too much with Toffee cardstocks. I think a lot of it too is if you're blending on a darker cardstock and how different the color is than what you're blending on, is when you're going to decide to put the white underneath or not. I hope that makes sense. Okay, last stencil we're going to do is going to be those flower centers, and that is going to be Mocha. So let's line this up. Oop. Sorry for the bumping. I have my tripod in a different spot. I'm at a different table. Everything's different, everybody. Okay, so I'm just using a detail blending brush to do those flower centers. And that again, this is Mocha ink for those poppy flower centers. And of course you can have fun and do poppies in so many different color combinations. I have a stray piece of hair on my brush. There we go. Kimberly, you were asking what stencil I'm using. It is Poppy Fields. It's in the current collection. But it was, when it first debuted, it was a gift with purchase. I believe it was in a month of August, but I can't remember if this was last summer or the summer before. I'm sure lots of you can remember and can share, and I'm sure you can share a link to the TE store. But if you go in and just search Poppy, it'll come right up. And I hadn't played with this stencil a whole lot before. And so it was very fun to pull this out and play with the stencil. But I just thought Papaya and Persimmon, I just thought poppies like immediately. That was like the flower that came to mind when I was thinking about what I would like to create with the colors. Okay, so there is our final stencil. So there is our completed panel. Check that out with those new colors. So beautiful. So let's do some splattering. Don't tell my mom I'm splattering on her table without anything around me. She's probably not surprised. She's not here right now, so she can't tell me what to do. Okay, so I'm picking up, this is the Chocolate Truffle liquid watercolor. I've shown splattering lots of times before. I like to use Chocolate Truffle liquid watercolor. I've got that on the little mini glass mat, so I'm just going to pick some of that up, and we're going to tap that brush over my finger to add splatters to my poppies. We're going to cut this panel down too for an A2 card. Lisa, you might be having a blurry pick. We are working through some technical issues, so hopefully it'll just kind of clear up as we go along here, but we are doing the best we can. All right, I'm cleaning off that brush, and then I'm going to grab the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink. Kimberly's asking about plans for a new craft room. There is absolutely plans for a new craft room. We wanted to get the sale of our other house out of the way before we started all of the building. That's done. So hopefully soon the building will begin. So again, I picked up that Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink on this brush, and then I tapped it over my finger to add these splatters to my panel. Just going to clean this brush out quick. The white ink can definitely wreck your brush, so make sure you're rinsing it out after you are done using it. Sarah says, long after I'm gone, her mom will be seeing splatter all over. Yes. I can tell you guys something funny. So we were cleaning out our garage, which, boy, that's a job, isn't it? After you've lived in a house for 12 years. And like I said, I know 12 years is nothing compared to how long some people have lived in their houses. And both of my girls graduated several years ago. We had graduation parties, and their colors were red, white, and blue for their school. So I had gotten red, white, and blue star, like confetti, and sprinkled it on the tables. And we were sweeping up star confetti from, I think the last party was 4 years ago, because now Hannah's graduated from college. So I believe the new homeowner will also find star confetti well into the future, not only in our garage, but out in our backyard where we had tables and different things like that. I'm cutting down my panel to an A2 size. So that's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just trimming off that kind of excess around there, because this is going to go on a card front. And I trimmed off too much, you guys. I sure did. We're going to be slightly short. That's okay. Don't tell. I should have just used the die. Then I wouldn't have had to worry about it. That's all right. Okay, I am gonna grab, we're gonna frame this up here with the thin frame. I cut that out with the A2 thin frame die. So this cuts out a whole bunch of thin frames at one time. And then I'm just gonna add that right onto my panel. So let me grab my multimedia mat. It's a liquid adhesive. This is my favorite liquid adhesive. There are lots of options out there. So we're gonna go ahead and add the glue for that. Slide this on here and get that lined up where I want it. I feel like this frame is bigger. I must have chosen, I chose a larger frame than I did on this card, but it's still gonna work just fine. Otherwise, I'm gonna be digging through stuff to find an additional frame. So I'm framing it up so this one is a little bit larger than the original one. We're just gonna go with it. Then these stencils are so perfect for doing, cards that are pretty quick and easy because this beautiful background is, it stands alone for your card design. Or you can cut it apart and use it in some different ways, use it on a couple different cards. If you came to my Christmas card class a few weeks ago in the studio, that's what we did. So I'm going to keep this nice and clean. I really want these poppies to be the focal point. So I'm just going to add a sentiment. I have a leaf here that is cut out using the Fresh Flowers die collection. Let me grab it so you can see what it looks like. This set right here. So I used this leaf right here, cut out of green tea cardstock. Let's add a little bit of blending to that, just for some extra shading. Grab my green tea ink and add a little, I'm just going to go right down the center so we get a little bit of shading kind of at the base of the leaves. This will lighten up a little bit as it dries. Just adds that extra bit of dimension. And then let's add that to the card. I wanted to use a little bit of foam adhesive just to pop that leaf up slightly. So I've got one of the 1x3 foam strips, and we're just going to cut this to add it to the backs. I'm just going to add the foam kind of right onto the backs of the leaves. So this lifts it up from the stencil design just a little bit to highlight the sentiment that I'm using on the card. I'll trim this just a little bit. I spend a lot of time trimming these little foam adhesives smaller to use in different ways. I love the thin foam adhesive. It gives you that dimension without too much bulk on your card. I'm gonna trim that little foam piece just a little bit shorter. And one more piece on that one leaf there. Need to add this to my card base yet too. All right, gotta get those little sticker papers off. I saw a video. This is one of my things. Sometimes this takes the longest, and I like someday somebody is going to come up with something to get that paper off of that foam adhesive, because that is what makes me crazy. It really does. Okay, this one more. And it's very warm and humid here, so it's not going well. Everything is sticking. Okay. Stick that leaf on there, kind of about like right there. Then for sentiments, I used one of the panels from All Together, All Occasions Too. And so I foiled these all with the rose gold foil. And then you can cut them all out at one time with that coordinating die. So that cuts all of these out at the same time. I love, there's like All Occasions, the first one, and then All Occasions Too. So I have a little selection of foiled sentiments waiting for me here. Let's see, what should we do? How about, I think I did Sending Hugs on the original card. Maybe I should do, should we do a birthday card or should we do Get Well Soon? Let's do Get Well Soon. So I'm going to cut a little piece of foam adhesive to go on the back of that. Again, peeling that little sticker tape off. We'll pop that right on there. So I've got a little dimension with the leaves, but then I also have dimension with my sentiments. So that gives that, just pops it up just enough from that background to stand out. And then for a finishing touch, I have a few of the enamel dots. I don't know if you guys caught all of that we have enamel dots coming out for all of the new colors. I think these are so much fun. I think these are like one of the comeback, kind of the comeback, how do I want to say, embellishments. Like enamel dots used to be really a big thing, and then they kind of went away for a while, and now I feel like they're back again. And I like them because I don't have to put adhesive down, but it adds just enough of a little pop to give you that nice finishing touch. Okay, let's put this on a card base to finish it off. We are in the home stretch. This one's a little shorter today. That's all right. We're getting used to our new location. All right, so I'm just putting a little adhesive here. And we're going to line that up with the top. Like I said, I know I trimmed this just a little hair short. Let's put that space at the bottom of the card. How about? I should have just used the die to cut it out, but there we go. All done. Playing with that Papaya and Persimmon on Toffee Cardstock. So this gives you an idea of kind of what that difference in color looks like between something that was just inked and then something that has dried completely. So it'll kind of get a little lighter, kind of toned down just a little bit on that Toffee Cardstock, but that gives you an idea of what that looks like. So beautiful. Yes, people are saying they love the enamel dots too. So there we go. I am not going to flip you up to the top just because of the rigmarole that it takes to get that set up again. And I am very sweaty. It is really warm out here on the porch. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you for your patience with all of the technical pieces that we are working through as I'm moving to my new locations. And I hope you enjoyed playing with the new colors with Toffee Cardstock. And I hope you guys have fun when your color orders come and play with the new colors. We cannot wait to see your creations on the TE Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook page. So make sure you share. This month is stencils. Isn't that's the technique this month? Obviously, I just stenciled the card. So if you want to create along with me and create even this card, you can enter it into as one of the entries for the TE Maker Challenge this month. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I will see you next